Hi, everyone, and welcome to our March Ambassador Briefing. Today, we have a special guest, Hafiza Ali, who will give us a little bit of training on how to tell your story when you are involved with advocacy. And then following her, we will have Lindsay Gill from our Government Relations Department, who will give a short update on state legislation and where things are at the moment. And then we will have our question and answer time at the end. Without further ado, I will make Hafiza Ali our co-presenter here.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. And if you just give me 1 minute, I'll be able to open up this form. All right, there we go. I'm also I have the Zoom app open on my phone because I want to be able to show you the Storyvine app live. So yes, I am Hafiza. It's nice to meet you all. I'm the account coordinator at Storyvine. Storyvine, just so you know, is a guided video platform. And so this will make it easy for you to use your mobile device, which will be your cell phone or your tablet, to log into the Storyvine app to record and upload your video. So what I'm going to do is walk you through those steps so that you can record and upload your video. And I'll do it in real time on my phone. And once I figure out how to share my screen, give me 1 moment. Okay. And I do believe you're able to see my screen now.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay. So what you should see on my screen now is the very first step. This is the sign-up form. Now, I don't know if you've already received a copy of that training guide, but there is a training document that has a sign-up link there as well as a QR code, so you can just scan it. But this is what the sign-up form looks like. It tells you just a little bit about the project, a little bit about Storyvine. As I mentioned, it's a guided video process. There is a YouTube video here that walks you through how to use it. Of course, I'm going to do that now, but if you ever needed to go back, get a refresher, this video is available. In order to create your account, you're just entering in a couple things. So your email address, and here I'm going to just put in Hafiza, where is my, here we go, plus AKF at Storyvine. And you want to make sure you're mindful of typos because you want to use your correct email address, storyvine.com. Your first name, that's Hafiza. Your last name, Ali. You're going to check yes to the terms and conditions, confirm that you're not a robot, and hit sign up. Once you hit sign up, you're officially registered to the American Kidney Fund template. And then you want to go ahead and download the Storyvine app. When you download the app, it's going to ask you for your email address. So as you see at the very bottom, mine says Hafiza plus AKF at storyvine.com. And you'll land on this homepage here, which lets you know which templates you have access to. So right now, the template is Fighting for Living Organ Donors. There's even a nice preview video here, so you know exactly what the template is going to look like once you're finished recording and what this particular person spoke about in their video. So you can use that to emulate what you want to say or just know what other people have spoken about already. Once you're ready to film, you'll see there's this orange button on the right that says, I'm ready.
Hey, Hafiza.
Yes.
This is Stephanie. I'm wondering if we can maybe watch the preview video. Is that possible through the way you're sharing?
Should be. So let me see if let me know if you can hear the audio from it.
We can't.
Let's see.
I can just share a little bit of background
Sure.
about why we're doing these videos. So this is a part of AKF's second annual Living Donor Protection Report Card release. And we've asked different AKF ambassadors and people who have stories related to living kidney donation to share their stories through these Storyvine videos. And it's basically a really easy template to put together different stories. And we even have some people on the call here today that have already submitted theirs, including Elizabeth and I saw Alicia, I believe. So they have that prompts that we'll walk you through in the next couple of slides about, sharing your story and talking about what to tell legislators about what's needed for living donor protections. So these are a part of the report card launch that Lindsay's going to share a little bit more about after we walk through this Storyvine template.
Perfect, thank you. And I would love to share the preview video, but it appears that the sound isn't coming through. But when you log into the app yourself, you'll be able to see this video and watch it through from start to finish, and it will have audio in that case. So once you're ready, yes, you select I'm ready. And again, the preview video shows up at the top. And it gives you, this is the synopsis page. So it lets you know the steps that are to come. So the very first step is to take a picture. Then you'll introduce yourself, and then question 1, question 2, question 3, a call to action, and finally a media release. You don't have to memorize any of this because it does speak about it in the app as you go through. So I'm just going to walk through to the very end. Once you've read the synopsis and you know what you're getting into, you would select I'm ready to film. And then it's going to ask you for some information. Now, when I recorded my test video, I've already pre-entered this information. So you'll enter in your full name, your location. I'm not really from Boise, but that's what I put in from this for this video. This is a drop-down. You can select whether you're a kidney patient, kidney transplant recipient, kidney donor, or caregiver. You select which one correlates to you, and your current age. When you're ready, you select continue. And this is going to open into the take a picture part. So this is the very first part of it, and then it goes into the video recording process. So you take your picture, and you'll notice this orange box on the left side of the screen. That means there is a graphic or a logo or some image on that side. You do not want to take your picture on that side of the screen. Instead, you want to follow this dotted outline. This outline is going to tell you where to frame yourself in every take. So right now it's right framed. You take your picture. And if you don't like it, you want to redo it, you can always retake the photo, or if you're happy, you move on to the next slide by pressing continue. Now we are in the recording phase. And as you can tell, this dotted outline will remain on all of these prompts telling you where to frame yourself. At the very bottom is the prompt itself. Once you press the record button, this prompt falls down, but by tapping on the prompt or the arrow on the left, you can bring it up at any time. For the introduction, this is saying, my name is Hafiza. I live in Colorado, and I am a caregiver. So you follow the blank so that you're responding to the question as you see in the prompt. You start to record by pressing the record button. And give me a minute because mine is lagging, probably because I'm recording here as well. 1 second. All right. So my record button isn't responding. I'm going to go back and start that over. And this is because there's a lot happening on my phone at the moment, but the app itself will record just as the picture takes go through. I'm not sure why it's not recording for me. Anyhow, I'll walk through it as if it had gone through this step. So you hit the record button, and it's going to give you a similar preview screen like you did with the picture. And I'll just go back to the picture here so that you see what that screen looks like. Whoops, I already went back to it. So it will say continue if you're ready to continue, if you like the video take that you made, or it will say retake if you want to retake the video. And it also has another one that says replay. And I recommend you replay all of the videos prior to submitting it so that you know what it looks like, what it sounds like. And in fact, I'm going to switch now to my training guide because I'm not sure why my recording button isn't working on the call. All right, so I'm going to cancel this view and share from my computer screen. If you bear with me just one moment. Okay. So let me share this screen instead. And let me know if you're able to see my screen. Is everyone able to see my screen? Which is now the PDF document.
Yeah, you can see that.
Perfect. Okay. So we did talk about a little bit about the beginning. This is a QR code where you can scan this to get access to the app. We spoke a little bit about this preview screen where it lets you choose the template you're in, gives you that synopsis and then that text capture component. And then we went into that video phase. So once you press that record button, it is going to start recording your video. On this training guide here, we let you know exactly what the questions are, so you know how to respond to them before getting into the app, or so you know exactly what you'll be responding to before you actually press the record button. I'll just quickly read these. We already did the introduction, but we were moving on to question 1. So my kidney health journey. Describe the moment when you learned that a kidney transplant was necessary and what the donation meant to you. For question 2, challenges for living kidney donors. In your personal experience, what are the biggest obstacles to someone becoming a living kidney donor? For example, job security, insurance concerns, financial concerns, health concerns, etc. For question 3, my message to lawmakers. What message do you have for lawmakers to make organ donation possible for more people? And then there's a call to action where you'll be repeating this. My name is Hafiza Ali, and I support living organ donors. So on this training guide, we have all the questions up front. Also, when you're in the app, it's going to show you those same questions in those segmented prompts. So you get into that filming side, you press the record button, you start filming, and there's a timestamp that will come on the bottom right. This doesn't limit how long you can speak. This is just telling you how long you have been speaking currently, so you can keep track of time if you're trying to keep your video on the shorter end. When you're ready, you'll press the stop button, and then you'll get that review screen here. And I'm going to make my screen just a little bit bigger. So it's going to say redo if you don't like the clip and you want to redo it. Maybe you missed some information. Continue if you love it and you're happy with everything you said. And of course, that replay video. So replays the video live in the app. If there's anything missing or anything that you want to change, you can redo it. So Storyvine, just so you know, is available on mobile devices, so that's cell phones and tablets, but not desktops, computers, laptops, Macs, anything like that. But you can use it on an Android phone or an iOS phone, same with tablets. If you're in iOS, namely iPhones, iPads, and such, you have the ability to also trim within the app. So say you were speaking and then you started to ramble off the end about something that wasn't really corresponding to the question, and you want to cut that out before you upload your video. Within the iOS apps, you can trim live. We're building that functionality for Android, but so far the two operating systems are so different that it takes a little bit more to get Android to where the iOS app is. If this is your first time downloading the Storyvine app, which I imagine it will be for most of you, you just want to make sure that you're allowing all the permissions needed to get your video uploaded, namely to your camera, your microphone, and your camera roll. Camera so that we can take the video, microphone so that we can capture the audio, and camera roll so that we can save these assets on your phone as well, in case you want to re-upload something, record another video using different takes, or you just want to have it so that you can replay what it is that you've already recorded. So you need to give access to all of those so that the app can work properly. Now, once you've gone through all the steps, so you've taken your picture, you responded to the introduction, question 1, 2, and 3, right? It'll come to this last page, which is the upload page. And this is where you're going to upload your video assets to the Storyvine server so we can stitch that video together for you. So you'll press upload, and you want to make sure that the video reaches 100% before you leave the Storyvine app. What happens if you accidentally leave the app before that upload reaches 100%? That's totally fine. You just go back to the app. You'll swipe to the left. That's going to open your upload queue, and it'll let you know, hey, these videos are here, but they're not fully uploaded. You restart that upload, get it to the Storyvine server. Once you complete that upload, within 1 to 15 minutes, but more closely 1 to 5 minutes, you will receive a video notification email with a copy of your completely edited Storyvine video. So all of the individual segments that you recorded in the app, we're going to edit that together and provide you the completed video. And remember why we ask that you don't take a picture on this side? We have some graphics on this side. So you want to make sure you're always following that dotted outline so it matches the final video. You'll receive this email. It'll have all your segments stitched together. It'll have some background music, some graphics on the screen, a little bit about what you're talking about. It's a really nice experience. But the first step is to register to the template, download the app, record the video, upload it, and then within 1 to 15 minutes, you'll receive this email with your video. And the American Kidney Fund will also receive a copy of this video. Now, I just want to give you some best tips and practices when you are recording. It's super easy, and if you ever recorded or taken a picture with your phone on your app, on an app in your phone, which I'm sure you have, it's very similar to that. But just a couple of things to be mindful of in the process so that you do record and upload your best video. Number one, pro video tip number one, that is, you want to look into the camera when you're recording. Right now, I am looking into the camera as I'm speaking, and it looks as if I'm engaging with the audience or the viewer of the video. If you look into your reflection, right now I'm looking into my computer screen, you can tell that I'm looking slightly off. So when you are recording these videos, you want to make sure that you're engaging with the camera itself. For pro video tip number two, you want to make sure you're not filming in front of a bright window or have your light source behind you. Right now, there's a window in front of me and that light is coming in, and I also have a ring light and I'm using my overhead light so that I'm being illuminated on the front so that my face is bright on the screen. You don't want a light source coming from behind you because as you see on the screen here, it's going to silhouette you and make you look dark in frame. So make sure whatever light source you're using, whether that's natural from the sun or from an artificial light source like a ring light, make sure that is on the front of you. Pro video tip number three, you want to avoid as best as you can filming in front of a white or a beige wall. And the reason being, it looks like it washes you out a little bit in the video. So you want to have an interesting but a non-distracting background. I have a painting behind me. You can have plants, it can be a book case, it can be, whatever it is that's in your home that's just a bit interesting. As best you can, avoid the white or beige wall. It can even be a plain blue wall. You just kind of want to get away from the duller color so you're not washed out in the video. For pro video tip number four, especially if you're holding your phone handheld style, you want to make sure you're not muffling the microphone. So identify where on your phone the microphone is. On mine, it's the bottom. And when you're holding it, if you're doing it handheld, you want to make sure that you give a little space there so that the audio can actually pick up. And then finally, for pro video tip number five, this is almost the most important one outside of looking into the camera. You want to try not to script or over memorize what you're going to say. We do give you the questions in advance so you can think about what you want to answer, but you just want to try to be as relaxed and comfortable and genuine as possible so that it comes through on the video. You'll find if you're scripting something, and especially if you're reading something, it does come off a little bit stiff. It is okay if you're speaking, much like I have been for this whole segment, and you say or and, or you take a pause. Like, these are human things. This is natural, and you want that to come through on your video. So think about what you want to say and say that, but definitely don't read a script and try your best not to memorize exactly what it is you're going to say. And so I know I talked a lot and I covered a bit, and we had a little technical difficulty in the beginning, but we did recover pretty quickly, which is great. But that's really it in a nutshell, how to use Storyvine. Most important things to remember: register to the template first, then you download the app, right? You put in the email address that you use to register, and it's going to guide you through the rest of the process. You'll have that preview video on the first screen, so you know exactly what you're getting into. And then each prompt will tell you what you're saying. So the introduction prompt will ask you the question or tell you, hey, for this prompt, we want you to say this. And then for question one, this is the question you're responding to in this prompt. So you're absolutely welcome to speak freely, speak your truth in the videos. So everyone's going to have a different video, but you're guided in what you're speaking towards in those individual prompts. It takes you all the way to the end. You upload it, make sure it reaches 100% before you exit out of the Storyvine app. And then within 10 minutes after that, you'll receive a copy of your video. And you can record as many videos as you like. So say you receive that copy of your video and you go, oh man, I really wanted to say something else in Q2. By all means, go back to the app, record another video. You'll receive another copy of your newly edited video. And you can share this with anyone else you want to share these stories. So it's completely up to you. You can make mistakes. You can upload as many videos as you want, but I just want you to be comfortable using the app itself. And of course, if you have any technical questions, you can reach me directly. There's an email address on this training guide, accounts@storyvine.com. This comes to me and my team, so we can help you with technical support or any other questions you have. So I'll stop here to see if anyone has any questions for me on the app before I let Ben take it away with the rest of the meeting.
So, and if anyone has questions, you can either put them in the chat or you can raise your hand from the participant list, and I'll see and call on you and unmute you. Okay, well, no questions so far, but we'll be happy to answer questions you might have in the future. Oh, so we have a question from Carrie Allen. It says, can more than one person be in the video?
Yes. So remember, we have that dotted outline on the screen. We call this Gary the Guide. Actually, let me scroll down here a bit. Yes, you can have more than one person in the video. You just want to be mindful that if it's center frame, that you're mostly in the center of the video, so you're not being blocked, or if it's right frame, the same. And you'll probably want to zoom back or stand back a little bit. You wouldn't want to be so close where, you know, they're very tightly in the video. You want to give some breathing room so there's more room for both people to show. But absolutely, it can be more than one person in the video. And remember, you get to replay each video. So if it looks a little too tight, or you want to move back, or you want to redo it, you can do it at any time. But that's totally possible.
And Tamara Walker's wondering if there is a deadline to record the videos. Yep, the deadline is May 20th, as Stephanie put there in the chat. And then Anel asked, will this information be emailed to us? Yes, everything will be sent out to the ambassadors and folks who were on this call, and then also to folks who were not able to join. And so just so everyone knows to be on the lookout for it, I'm going to work with the communication department to have just a separate email about this. So it's not, so you don't miss it in an email about different advocacy opportunities or in the next Zoom briefing. Any other questions?
All right.
Well, in that case, I would like to thank Hafiza for joining us today and helping us record this video so you all can record videos for us. And like I said, we'll be happy to answer any questions you all have in the future. I know personally for me, I have to use stuff with my own two hands so I can figure out what exactly I do know and don't know and what questions I might have. So we're more than happy to answer questions from you all folks in the future.
Excellent. Well, thank you all for your time. And if you no longer need me, then I will be on my merry way.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, and then now I will welcome Alyssa from our communications department, and she will talk a little bit about the transparent report card that we have coming out, and then Lindsay will go a little bit further on that. So Alyssa, I would like to welcome you here.
Hello, everybody. I'm just sharing my screen real quick. Hopefully you can see that. For those who I haven't met, I think I know most of you, but I'm Alyssa. Like Ben said, I work on AKF's communications team. And one of the main responsibilities I have in my job is managing advocacy communications. So I work quite closely with Ben and the rest of our government affairs team, particularly on the Living Donor Protection Report Card. Some of you may be familiar with this from the 2021 version. The 2022 version is coming out very soon. It's not out yet. So we're giving our ambassadors a little bit of a sneak preview on this call here. So you can feel special as some of the first people to see the 2022 version. We've made some pretty exciting updates to the 2022 version, which you can find at kidneyfund.org/livingdonor when it comes out, and you'll get an email about it, and we'll also post about it in the ambassador Facebook group, so you'll know when the 2022 version is up. Excuse me, but one of the updates is this new section here where we have your ability to tell your living donor story or your living donation story, which you just learned about through Hafiza. So this is where you'll go on the report card right here to share your story, and it'll pull up the prompt that she just went through. So we have a couple of people on the call who've already recorded stories from us, Alicia and Elizabeth. If I missed you, Jeremy, I apologize, but Jeremy already has a video recorded. And we're looking to get a lot more stories from you all on living donation, because not only is the report card a really good tool, advocacy tool for government relations and for you all as you're talking to talking to your elected officials, but also for communications as we are trying to garner support for the legislation that government affairs is working on across the country. So we use the report card in talking to the media to try and get support and articles written about the report card. So the people in specific states can read about the issue and learn why protections for living organ donors are important. And Lindsay's going to go into the protections in a little bit. But as you come down to the map here on the report card, you can see all the different grades for the states. So your state, if it's a lighter shade, has some better protections than some other places in the country. And the darker states, including these over here that are super dark blue, have absolutely no protections for living organ donors. So if you're living in one of these states, like Michigan, for instance, if you click open, click on the state, it'll give you this pop-up box where you can see that Michigan has 0 of the 7 types of legislation that the report card measures to protect living donors. And if you click here on this fact sheet, it'll pull up. Hopefully you all can see my windows changing, but you should see a PDF that just popped up with a bunch more information on the state of kidney disease, kidney failure, and transplants in Michigan, as well as some other statistics. But I use Michigan as an example because if the Zoom controls will move, I can pull up this article here, which was a really good article for us that directly referred to the report card. So this was in MLive. It's a major publication in Michigan. And it really highlights the need for protections for living organ donors in the state, seeing it as how it is an F state with no protections currently. And I think I saw Amy on the call here. Amy was one of our ambassadors from Michigan, and she helped us out with this story, talking to the reporter about her experience with living donation. So when we're able to get media attention directly related to the report card, it's really beneficial for helping to push along legislation in a particular state, because legislators can see it, but also the public. So as you're going out and speaking to your elected officials, we can get more people to do that as well if we can highlight the report card in a good way in the state. And that's where your stories really come into the fold, because the more stories we can get in this section, specifically from ambassadors, since you all are really good at telling your stories and you know what kinds of things elected officials and other people need to hear to kind of pull at their heartstrings and really understand why this is an issue that is important to many, many people across the country. It would just be an excellent way to have the actual voices from people who have gone through this, who are looking for a living donor, who've donated a kidney themselves, just how living donation has impacted you. So I think with that, I'll turn it over to Lindsay, who can go into more depth on why these pieces of legislation are important, but the story aspect is also definitely important, and we can help you at any time on how to craft your story or make sure you're comfortable recording it for the report card.
Great, thank you, Alyssa. We're super excited about this, and this would not have been able to happen without our communications team. And for those that don't know, my name is Lindsay Gill. I'm the Associate Director of State Policy and Advocacy at the American Kidney Fund. I spoke last month and gave some state legislative updates and shared that this would be coming out in the next month or so. So I believe it should be premiering this week, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm sure all of you will be getting an email from us very soon on this report card. So I know Alyssa shared some of the updates that we did from the 2021 now to the 2022. And this is extremely helpful from an advocacy perspective. because this, of course, clearly gives you an idea of the protections that you currently have in your state and the improvements that need to be made. So if you are having conversations with your lawmakers, this is certainly a resource that you can share with them. Last year in 2021, we had 7 states bump up their grade, which is fantastic because we were able to get some protections implemented. The major provision that we really work on in states for the Living Donor Protection Act is an anti-insurance discrimination provision, which makes sure that life insurers, long-term care and disability insurers cannot discriminate against living organ donors and them being able to give the gift of life to others. So we want to ensure that you are able to receive the types of insurance that you need and not have higher premiums, or simply, get dropped altogether just because of your status as an organ donor. We're working on a number of these bills this legislative session. It's over 12 of them right now. Michigan is currently pending. I know that Ellis shared that one, that it was an F grade. We are, that there is a bill introduced in Michigan right now. And on this report card, I know at the very bottom, it shares a way where you can actually take action and how you can get involved. So our new website has an action center where you can participate in the legislative process and email your lawmakers or tweet at them. But of course, you're always more than welcome to reach out to Ben or myself to get more involved in your state. If you want to have more meetings with your elected officials, things of that nature. So we are, more than welcome to have you participate, in the process with us. So this is going to be a great resource. We're excited for everyone to use it, and of course, be able to share your story and have those videos. So if there's any other questions, happy to answer.
And I'll just join in here and say that, we'll be sharing this information with all of you, and it'll be available on our website as well. But like Lindsay said, this is a very important part for advocacy, because it is something that we can share with elected officials, both on the federal and the state level, to try and give them a little bit more context as to why their state is not maybe doing so well. And hopefully they'll take a hint and start working on maybe getting some better legislation there. Or we can also use it as an opportunity to, to thank sort of the politicians in the states that have done well, and let them know that their work is appreciated, because I'm sure, as all of you know who have done meetings and stuff with us, unfortunately, kidney disease is not always the number one topic on the minds of legislators, regardless of what level they're at. So, when we are able to have folks who do work with us, we certainly do appreciate it. So I don't know if anyone else has any more questions about the report card. You can put in the chat, raise your hand, or just chime in if you like. Okay, I do not see any more questions, so we'll just stop the recording now and then do the question and answer, or just open-ended time at the end. So thank you everyone for joining us, and our next ambassador briefing will be on April 21st. So thanks everybody.